in Sibanor. On the internationals, Russian Foreign Minister wraps up his four-nation Africa tour. And Nigeria's Medical Council bans certificate issued from Ukrainian universities. Well, details of these and more coming ahead in this edition of the news at 2000 hours. I am Fatoumata Cham. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. The Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jammeh, today presided over the opening of a two-day training on media and information literacy for members of different youth organizations in the Gambia. The program was organized by UNESCO in partnership with the Global Youth Innovation Network. Ibrahima Jallo has more details in this report.
Youth leaders from different organizations converge here to learn about media and information sources, packaging and dissemination. This is said to be a crucial move as it enables participants to identify misinformation and information disorder that are often misleading to the public. The idea is to promote streamlining of information through credible media. Officials say the program is apt, citing the importance of information to the public, hence the need to have basic knowledge of it going forward.
There have been so much or so many fake news training on the social media. And when we talk about social media, we can say WhatsApp and Facebook, of which we have a good number of young people that are using it. And as part of this training program also, we will bring to light for them to understand how can they address hate speech and also fake news through the use of the social media. And also how can they authenticate some of this information and also be very responsible when they are sharing the information.
The Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jammeh, applauds the organizers for the initiative. Minister Jammeh describes information as power, which could be useful and equally damaging depending on the manner it is being handled.
It is gratifying to note that UNESCO has consistently been nurturing and promoting media and information literacy, otherwise MIL, in the Gambia, as a powerful tool to counter hate speech and fake news and enhance peace-building efforts. The project seeks to address the institutional barriers facing young people, strengthen youth capacity for engagement and participation in governance and leadership, and debunk hate speech and fake news.
He said the training on media and information literacy enables the public to be sensitive to information they consume under the current press freedom in the country.
The training has helped the youth leaders to, among other things, search, evaluate, and use the information they need, understand the role and functions of online and offline media and information providers, critically evaluate, authenticate, and verify media content and information, communicate media content and information in an ethical and legal manner.
The training is designed to support youth organizations to mainstream and integrate into their policy strategies. 40 young people are attending the two-day session underway at a local hotel. Ibrahima Jallo, GRTS News.
Now, as the Gambia joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Hepatitis Day, the WHO country representative, Dr. Desta Tirune, delivered a statement highlighting the significance of the day. He stated that the hepatitis virus is endemic in the Gambia, with 15 to 20% of the population being chronic carriers of the virus. Dr. Tirune reaffirmed WHO's commitment to support the development of the National Hepatitis Strategic Policy and plan to create a framework towards the elimination of viral hepatitis as a public health threat in the Gambia. Here is an excerpt.
Million people are living with hepatitis in the African region, accounting for 26% of the global burden. The burden of chronic hepatitis remains disproportionately high in low and middle income countries, particularly in Asia and Africa. According to the most recent estimates, more than 140,000 people die each year because of viral hepatitis or related complications in the region. But because the disease goes mostly unnoticed and undetected, either due to the absence of symptoms until it is too late for treatment, or due to lack of testing, preventable loss of life is the tragic outcome. As such, the theme for World Hepatitis Day 2022 is bringing hepatitis care closer to you. With this messaging, we want to highlight the need to bring hepatitis care closer to the community so that people have better access for diagnosis, treatment, and care. Hepatitis B virus infection is endemic in the Gambia, with 15 to 20% of the population being chronic carriers of the virus. The World Health Organization has been working steadfastly since 2017 with the Ministry of Health and partners to tackle the burden of the disease at its root. The WHO supported the development of the National Hepatitis Policy and Plan to create framework towards elimination of viral hepatitis as a public health threat in the Gambia. WHO guidelines require countries with high burden of disease to develop plans with time-bound interventions. With the development of these guidelines, the Gambia has become one of the handful countries in the African region to develop a guided strategy for tackling this disease.
Moving on, the ambassador of the Republic of the Gambia to the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, His Excellency Sheikh Omar Faye, on Tuesday, July 26, presented his letters of credence to the President of Mauritania, His Excellency Mohammed Ould Cheikh El Ghazouani, at a ceremony held in Nouakchott. Speaking at the presentation ceremony, Ambassador Faye conveyed fraternal greetings from the President of the Republic of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, to the Mauritanian President, His Excellency Mohammed Ould Cheikh El Ghazouani, the government and people of Mauritania. Ambassador Faye also conveyed the goodwill and determination to further strengthen the historic ties that exist between the two countries and people. For his part, President Ghazouani welcomed and congratulated Ambassador Faye on his appointment as Gambia's ambassador to Mauritania and assured him of his full support during his tenure. The Mauritanian president extended greetings to his brother and friend, President Barrow, as well as appreciation on how the Mauritanian communities are being treated peacefully in the Gambia. Now, as part of its 2020 Floods Respond project supporting the recovery of affected communities, the National Disaster Management Agency, in collaboration with the World Food Programme, the WFP, with funding from ECOWAS, recently handed over 6 boreholes worth over $5 million to various communities in the West Coast and the Upper River regions. Yusuf Abojang has more in this report.
During heavy rains of 2020, the Gambia experienced massive floods and windstorms which caused significant impacts on lives and livelihoods of the population, which experienced major disasters with entire homes razed to the ground. Heavy and persistent downpour led to severe flooding in densely populated areas of the West Coast region and within the city of Basse Upper River region. Information from assessments conducted by regional disaster management structures indicated that 83,481 people across 4,910 households were impacted by hazards during the rainy season, mainly in URR and West Coast region. Speaking at intervention sites, NDMA Executive Director Sana Dahaba noted that the project seeks to strengthen the resilience of beneficiary communities through the provision of clean drinking water.
Immediately after 2020 disaster, NDMA requested funding from ECOWAS, and ECOWAS supported three components which this borehole is part of. The first component was cash transfer, the second component was shelter, the third component is the borehole. The idea of the borehole is to strengthen the resilience of the community through provision of clean drinking water. We want to thank Mr. Claude through ECOWAS for providing this funding. We want to thank the beneficiaries for implementing this project with our office. For the project to be sustainable, they need to come up with a maintenance committee, because we're going to transfer the management to the committee now.
In Fonyi Kansala and Bondali districts, Chief Ibrahim Sanyang and Omar Koli both underscored the importance of water, stressing that the boreholes will significantly end drudgery endured by women in their search for potable drinking water. Village alkalos Yusufa Jaju, Mamadou Kuchabi, and women leader Musuba Sane, who spoke on behalf of beneficiary communities, thanked NDMA for helping them with a viable drinkable water source, ending acute shortages that have disrupted life in the area. Similar water projects were unveiled in Sare Ali Jao, Sare Turi, Boro Damfa Kunda, Pilinki, and Sare Silere in Sandu district of the Upper River region. Nyaling Kamara of Pilinki recalled the challenges they faced access water, with many using unsafe and unclean water from the village old well as the only source over the years. Kamara commended NDMA for the well-timed support, saying they have never imagined such easy access to safe and clean running water for their consumption. Chief Kaniman Sane, Ibrahima Juara, and Jundu Ba both acknowledged the benefits of the new boreholes, which they said ends years of the community's long quest to potable drinking water. Village alkalos Umar Chalo, Seiba Jara, and Ngundo Kuyate, on behalf of the women, all hailed NDMA for the provision of the boreholes, describing it as a life-changing initiative for their communities. The ECOWAS political advisor to the special representative, Claude Kondo, underscored the importance of the projects for grassroots communities, saying the life-changing projects will end the long nightmare women and children go through in accessing water.
We are not praying that disaster occurs in the Gambia any longer. It is a constraint that is beyond our control. However, if it occurs, we can come in to help. Now ECOWAS has moved from an ECOWAS of state to ECOWAS of the people. And that is why we're here. We need to come to the people.
The NDMA Monitoring and Evaluation Officer, Boubacar Fofana, urged beneficiary communities to establish water committees that would manage the boreholes to ensure their durability and management. The inauguration ceremony climaxed in the handing over of boreholes to communities who are all set to take ownership and responsibility of viable water supply system, providing clean water supply. Water is an essential part of life need to ensure food, human and livestock security with sustainable supplies required for conserves biodiversity and the natural environment. Yusufa Bojang, GRTS News.
Now, fighting fake news on COVID-19 and its vaccine among young people continues to be a major challenge for the Gambia as health officials move to meet global COVID vaccine targets. Social media platforms serve as a source of information for the younger generation, where most unverified news is shared, causing fear and confusion. Well, GRTS, in collaboration with the Canadian media partner JHR, finds out why many adolescents in the Gambia are still reluctant to take COVID jabs. Sally Jaju has the rest of that story in this report.
Sona Baji is a student of Daddy Job Comprehensive Senior Secondary School. Like many young Gambians, Sona is still undecided whether to take the COVID-19 jab or not over safety concerns. According to her, she has come across a lot of conflicting messages on the certainty of the COVID vaccine online, and that makes her scared to take it. When asked if she is now convinced about taking the COVID jab, this is what she has to say.
I am not taking it because I've heard so many words about this vaccine that it is not good or it will give you some bad effects after taking the vaccine. I see so many people who took the vaccine but still nothing is wrong with them. So I believe that the rumors that people are saying about this COVID-19 vaccine is not true.
Sona believes that with vigorous sensitization, perhaps many young people will gradually accept the COVID-19 vaccine.
To keep sensitizing about this COVID-19 vaccine, they should be going around talking to people, make them believe that this vaccine is really good for us. We should really take it. That's the way that people will believe that, yes, it's true, this COVID-19 is real and we should take the vaccine and prevent ourselves from the COVID-19.
Siddharth Fofana is the program manager, expanded program on immunization at the Ministry of Health. In an interview with GRTS, Mr. Fofana described misinformation and disinformation as the greatest contributing factor towards the low vaccine coverage in the country.
It was the most successful vaccine round. We have about 5 rounds, but that because it involved school children at this age group, we were able to definitely deliver the highest amount of doses during that round. So nationally we are talking about close to 400,000 doses that have received the COVID vaccine. It's good, but it's not enough now as a country. Because looking at our target, we are talking about 60 to 70%.
According to Mr. Fofana, the Ministry of Health and partners will not relent in their quest to protect Gambians from COVID-19, especially the younger generation.
COVID is here to stay. Unless we are all vaccinated, the disease will continue to disturb us. It will affect us economically, socially, culturally, and all those things. Our partners are here with us to support us, giving us vaccines. We have enough vaccine. So now it's for the population to come and take these vaccines so that we are able to protect this country.
As the COVID virus continues to be a global public health concern, killing millions globally and impacting heavily on the country's economy, the authorities are with the conviction that with continuous sensitization, more Gambians will change their perception and get vaccinated to boost their immune system, which serves as a key measure towards COVID prevention. For GRTS News, I am Sally Jaju.
Now, the Trust Agency for Rural Development, TARUD, on Wednesday launched the innovative platform for networking and actors along the value chain of vegetable production in Sibano or West Coast region. The initiative is aimed at linking producers to transporters as well as creating access to markets for enhanced socio-economic growth. Ibrahim Ajalo reports.
Local organizations and individual farmers and entrepreneurs along the agricultural value chain gathered for a networking session in Sibano. The forum was a platform to share ideas and experiences in a bid to tackle challenges affecting vegetable production and sales in the country, especially onion. The Executive Director of Trust Agency for Rural Development, TARUD, by E. Jabang, said there was need to bring value chain actors together to discuss the way forward.
The purpose of this event is to bring producers, especially vegetable producers, and link them up with the market. When I say linking them up with the market, you know, the market is composed of various actors, and these actors are referred to as actors of the value chain. And these actors include the transport union, they include the Njendanjais, these are the petty traders also, they serve as a link between the market and the producers. We have potential buyers. These are big time buyers. You see, it is disheartening if you listen to the information that is coming from the hotel industry. They are saying that it's a research being conducted in the Gambia that the amount of vegetables that we are consuming in this country, 80% of those vegetables are imported in the country. That is a problem.
Usman Mane is the manager of the Farm Market Federation. He emphasized the need for active participation of all players along the value chain to break barriers in the sector.
For us Gambians, we don't even trust our very self. That's one, because what we call quality in that sense is like those that come from overseas or the neighboring countries. But we disregard our very own product. I am here to tell you that our produce can produce quality product, but our challenge is like, how are we going to produce it year-round? So infrastructure is a challenge to producers because we have to work on our infrastructure structures to make sure that what is produced can be able to serve the purpose.
Crowdfunding Baji is engaged in vegetable production in Brefet. She lamented lack of market and efficient transport system.
We have difficulties in accessing market and even transportation because our garden is 7 kilometers from the main road.
The chief of Foni Bintang, Moudou Lamine Jobate, advised government and partners to consult farmers about their challenges and needs for appropriate support, especially with regards to farm inputs and tools. The innovative platform was formed as part of the implementation of the West Africa Competitiveness Program, funded by the European Union. Ibrahim Diallo, GRTS News.
Now, the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Farafenye organized a symposium amongst members in the area, and the religious event is part of the Jamaat's resolve to promote peace as well as peaceful coexistence in society. Farmer Akani attended the ceremony and prepared this report.
The Peace Symposium, organized by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Farafenye, is aimed at promoting peace and peaceful coexistence among people in society. The activity was first of its kind and goes with the theme Love for All and Hatred for None. In attendance are senior figures of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, parents and madrasa students from the town of Farafenye and its satellite communities. Rohan Ahmed, religious minister of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Farafenye in the North Bank region, said the event is part of the Jamaat's resolve in promoting peace and ensuring brotherhood in the country.
I hope it will open doors of brotherhood and peace in the society. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is conducting this peace conference on the topic, the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, a messenger of peace, reconciliation and tolerance. The theme of the event is Love for All, Hatred for None. The primary aim and objective of this unique event is to foster ties of brotherhood and spread the message of peace and love in this diverse society. And on that note, we have invited guests and speakers belonging to different sects within Islam to share the stage with us and join us in spreading the message of love.
Senior clerical figures of the Jamaat, including Imam Usman Keba, took turns to deliberate on the theme as they called for a more religious tolerant Gambia. Ustaz Dauda Cham described peace as a valuable resource in ensuring the well-being of any society. He called on Gambians to refrain from issues that could trigger religious violence and to take the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a role model. Peace, he went on, forms an integral part of Islam. He challenged Muslims to continue preaching the word of peace whilst respecting their religious differences. In his deliberation, Ustaz Musaba said becoming a peace ambassador, one must be a peaceful person. He cited several verses of the Holy Quran which call believers towards the promotion of peace and the refrain from violence. This is one of the biggest religious events organized by the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat in Farafenye, and the inclusion of the community is part of a greater approach towards peace building and ensuring understanding in society. For the news, I am Famara Kani.
Now, the Dubai-based Emirates Red Crescent charity organization, in partnership with the Senegambia Democracy and Governance Group, has donated over 20 bulls within various communities in the West Coast region during the Eid celebrations. The distribution to the underprivileged Muslims is aimed at promoting and nurturing the spirit of caring and sharing as prescribed in Islam. Ibrahim Cham has more details.
The Emirates Red Crescent has extended its generosity to Muslims in the Gambia, particularly the West Coast region, to celebrate Eid al-Adha. Under the Al-Adahi project, over 500 households from Sanchaba, Busumbala and Fonyi were amongst beneficiaries who benefited from the distribution of meat as part of celebrations marking Eid al-Adha. The Senegambia Democracy and Governance, headed by Tuku Jallo, is the implementing partners in this drive in ensuring that needy Muslims also enjoy the celebrations of the feast. Amadou Emel Cisse is the spokesperson for the charity organization. Over 20 bulls will be slaughtered and distributed accordingly. All the donors want to see is that less privileged Muslims also have meat to take home to their families during the Eid celebrations. The beneficiaries range from imams to village heads and needy Muslims who couldn't afford to buy a ram considering the skyrocketing prices this year. Beneficiaries thanked the donors for the support, noting that the gesture have contributed significantly to fulfilling Eid celebrations. This is a great gesture and will complement government's efforts. Many people cannot afford a ram this year, and we all know it's because of the high prices. More humanitarian drives are underway from the Emirates Red Crescent in the areas of water sanitation projects as well as building mosques to promote the teaching of Islam. Reporting for Giantes News, I'm by Ibrahim Chan.
Well, time now to take our first break. The news continues in just a moment. Do stay.
For the first time in the Gambia, UCMAS, in partnership with AfriCell, presents a quick reaction thinking educational show. Students between 6 and 13 years. Questions, answers,
2, 5, 8.
Speed, mental abilities, mathematical problems and solution.
3.
Grand prize of 30,000 for the first winner. The UCMAS Arithmetic Competition. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and replayed on Saturday at 2 p.m. on GRTS.
Welcome back, and over now to some sports where Kamfenda Village football team have been crowned champions of Fonyi Kansala after beating Bajonkoto Village by a 1-0 in the district football tournament final at the Dobong football field. Well, this is the second time Kamfenda is retaining the title after being crowned as champions last year. MS Jallo picks up the rest of that story.
Rainy season football is back. The fans' favorite summer football fiesta called Nawetan is making waves across the country. And the scenery at the Dobong football field had all the ingredients of a Nawetan game. A torrential downpour and a waterlogged pitch, ready to host two neighboring villages in a district football final. Fans soaked in the rains were out in large numbers to support their respective teams. As Bajonkoto and Kamfenda face off in the final of the Fonyi Kansala district final. Kamfenda showed exactly why they were the defending champions, with a promising start to the game. Their early dominance was rewarded in the 20th minute when they forced Bajonkoto into conceding an own goal. A cross from this set piece was diverted into the net by the Bajonkoto defense to give Kamfenda the lead. Both sides stepped up their game in the second half, with Bajonkoto going all out for the equalizing goal, but were held back by Kamfenda, who defended pretty well to win 1-0 and successfully defend their crown, much to the delight of the traveling fans.
Oh my God, that is the end.
This is football. It have to be a loser and a winner. We are at the losing side. But nonetheless, it is luck. They win 1 goal. You can see. The game itself, what we plan and what we meet the field is different. We are at the raining season. Our game plan was to come and hold the ball and knock. This is what we started. But it doesn't materialize. It is rain. You cannot blame anybody.
The secret behind my team, it is nothing. It is dedication. We are together. We do things together as a community, and all the boys are together. since their grassroots up to today. And when I take over the team from my own younger brother, this is my slogan. I want to come and make back-to-back. And surely God has helped me to do that today. But John Kotong, their goal scoring record is not very much good, but they are good in defending. So I told my boys today, we are not, normally I play with 2 holding midfielders, but today I play with only 1 holding midfielder. I told them today, we are not sitting back. We are going to put pressure on them. I told them that 15 minutes I want a goal, and slowly it has paid off. I did not come to defend, because on this final I told them, I don't come to lose. I only come to have a goal first half. The second half, then I will come with another strategy.
Members of the District Sports Committee were satisfied to have delivered another successful tournament as their mandate comes to an end.
Well, I think it's going to be a replication of what we have done. We have produced Seni and Sana, all of them hail from Fonyi Kansala, and many others play in the divisional football. So this is what we want to continue doing, producing grassroots football so that they will represent the district and the Gambia at international and national level. Well, we really want to thank him very much. I think he's done a very great thing now. If you look at Fonyi Kansala, Dabo has no properties in Fonyi Kansala, but he decided we are the only sole district in the region that he has sponsored this tournament. So we want to thank him very much. We are very grateful to his effort, and we want the government and all stake partners to consider Dabo Jula as a partner in football.
Confender Football Club were at the end crowned champions of Fonyi Kansala for a second consecutive year. Modest Jala, Jara Sports.
Now, with that, we come to the end of this edition of the news at 2000 hours. But before we go, a quick reminder of our headline-making stories. The Minister of Information, Lamin Queen Jame, on Tuesday presided over the opening of a 2-day training on media and information literacy for youth organizations. The Gambia has joined the rest of the world to commemorate World Hepatitis Day today. And Trust Agency for Rural Development, Tarut, on Wednesday, launched the innovative platform for networking of actors along the value chain of vegetable production in Sibanor, West Coast region. On the internationals, Russian Foreign Minister has wrapped up his 4-nation Africa tour. And Nigeria's Medical Council has banned certificates issued from Ukrainian universities. Well, that was all in this edition of the news at 2000 hours. I'll be back at 10 p.m. for a more detailed broadcast of these and other stories. Do stay with us.